Hey girlfriends, it's me, Lauren Hope, aka Lolo of Good Girl Chronicles, blogger, motivational speaker, certified peer recovery specialist, dog mom, lover of Dwayne Johnson, and all around fabulous. Oh my goodness, girlfriends. It's been an interesting week, as you may have seen while watching this channel. A lot of peaks, a lot of pits. The peak of the week was definitely uploading the interview with Christina Kimbrough. We talked about mental health, storytelling, addiction. If you didn't get to see that interview, girl, it was the bee's knees. Check out this clip.
And someone, you said mental health advocate, and I was like, oh my goodness, yay, because it's like that's just like a very specific term, you know what I mean? Like I have called myself one for a couple years now since my diagnosis, so I was excited to like meet someone locally who I felt understood, because you can identify with having a mental illness, but like being an advocate and being open about it is amazing. And then you also said you were a speaker, so I was like drawn to that because I love to speak as well. I'm a talker. We're both talkers. I mean,
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Christina and I have been friends for 2 years, and we met in Norfolk, Virginia, and it's just been amazing watching her grow and share her sobriety journey on Instagram. So proud of her, but it also gave us an opportunity to really talk honestly about recovery and mental health. And then another peak was I interviewed a health and relationships coach about sexual energy. I talk about sex a lot on this channel, and I don't really have a lot of sex. But I just think it's one of those things that women should start talking about. So I feel like if I can talk about it and I'm like really silly about sex, then everybody can talk about it. So the peak was talking to this relationship coach. I'm going to be uploading that in a couple of days. And the pit was clearly this breakup with this guy is just taking a lot longer than I expected. Things ended a month ago, and he is just reacting in a really negative, terrible way. And I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to provoke him to any more anger than he's already showing me. And I do care about this person, like, and I'm sad that it's ended this way. Sorry, I have hair on my face. Sorry. I'm really sad that our relationship ended this way. I wish we could sit down and talk and hash it out, but like he's just crossed a line that like we can't go back from. But anyways, again, I'm not putting energy into that because it just has been stressful. So that's been the big pit of the week. But I wanted to share with you, girlfriends. I just feel like it's time for me to pivot. The two different things that I've been feeling on my spirit is pivot and purge. Pivot and purge. Pivot in the fact that, like, I know people are itching to get outside and for business to go back to normal, but I just think it's going to take some time. And I've already felt the impact of it, like trying to apply for new jobs, trying to look for media jobs. And I'm like, okay, like God's not opening these doors for some reason. And so what could I be doing with this time that's useful? And I was like, well, what if I just go all in for my business, like in content? What would that look like? I was like, well, I would start doing the interviews I always wanted to do. I would do the things that a reporter did, but just like me. So, yeah, I'm really just trying to pivot in my business and be really bold and brave and do the things that I always said, oh, maybe I'll do that. Or maybe if I get a news job, I'll do that. Like, that's just not going to happen right now. And, I think it's also a really good opportunity for you, girlfriend. I'm not even kidding. Like, if there's like one or two women out there that are like on the verge of like trying something different, writing a book, this is the time. The there's been a lot of heartache because of the COVID crisis, but there's been a lot of blessings. And I have the blessing of time now. I'm not driving 40 minutes a day to go to work and things like that. And so yeah, that's the the pivot, the purge. I'm a very spiritual person, and I've really been in the Word lately, just because this breakup, just any breakup that happens the way that mine did, like where it pulls at your spirit, and this person's trying to damage your character and that type of thing. I don't know. I don't see how it can't make you introspective. So I've really been praying a lot, sitting with myself a lot, and I feel like the thing that God keeps putting on my heart is purge, 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 purge. And so first it started with my makeup. I was like looking at lipstick that I've had like 3 or 4 years. And I think the expiration date for makeup, like lipstick is like a year. Then I looked up the other expirations for dates for makeup and I was like, oh no. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to let me just get it. Let me just show you. I'm back. This Walmart bag is full of old lipstick, old foundations, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, don't get me wrong, like, you could still use it, but when you use makeup, let me show you. When you buy makeup, all right, yeah, this is a good one. Whenever you buy makeup, there's a little thing on there that shows you how long it'll last and how long you'll get the optimal use for it. Let me see. Can you hold on? Can you see that little tiny thing there? It's a can, right? That's open. So it says after you open this, it says 6M. That means it's good for 6 months. Girl, I don't know how long I've had this lipstick. And so then I was like, well, that felt good. And I was kind of, well, actually, I was kind of sad because I was like, oh my God, all this makeup. And then I was like, well, let me see if there's some clothes, that I should get rid of or whatever. So I started going through clothes and giving them away. I had paparazzi jewelry that I'd never worn before, and I gifted it to a young lady and I just sent it to her. And I swear everything I do is like an emotional thing. It can't just be like surface level. The reason why it's hard for me to get rid of like items is because when I was homeless, I was forced to give away a lot of stuff. To get money, I sold a Mac computer that I loved. I pawned it, and I wasn't able to get it back. My boo. Sorry. I sold my Mac. I gave away all of these beautiful clothes because I was renting a storage space that I could not afford, and they were threatening to auction it off like every month. And so I got rid of as much stuff as I could and paid what I could to get like the priceless things out, like my childhood pictures, my books, my yearbooks, that kind of stuff. And so now that I'm in a better season of life, I do find that sometimes it's hard for me to get rid of tangible things. And so I'm just like, but the thing is, spiritually, like if you don't purge some terrible things, you can't make room for more. So like, yeah, I'm bummed that I had to get rid of all this expired gross makeup. And I was like, okay, that means God's going to enable me to have the money to get more. I'm going to give away these clothes that don't fit or I've never worn because God's going to make a way for me to get more. And it's also transferred into my personal life too. Like I've been really in prayer and in the word a lot lately. And I feel like, and I've said this on another vlog, let's see if I have the video. I was like, God is tugging at my heart about this sex thing, like the struggles I have with it, why I'm intimate with men, and blah blah blah. Like I don't know what it is, and I feel like that I'm in a season where I'm so sorry, this is turning into church. I'm in a season where God is really like, you need to take a hard look at the people you call friends, the people you call associates, the people that you let get intimately close to you, because the things that this guy has said and done like really freaked me out. And this was somebody I let get a little close to me, and I'm just like, fudge. And I might have to change my number because of the stuff he's doing. It's just crazy. So as I was feeling all of these things that like, okay, I really need to like assess like my online profile, like all that kind of stuff. I defriended like 500 people on Facebook. I unfollowed like 1,000 people on Instagram. Um, the interesting thing that I found was like, when you do that, right, you start to see people you hadn't seen before. Like I was following people on Facebook for like no reason. Then I was like seeing old high school friends, like people that are like I actually have a real life connection with. So that was really cool. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram is different because it's like I was like, oh man, I'm starting to see more of the things that I like. So it's almost been like a spring cleaning of my life. And I don't know what this means about like what God's going to bring into my center. I don't know, but I just know that it's just, I have to keep purging. So I want to tell you about this book, girl. All right, I'm back. So another thing is like before I got into this season of purging, right? I was following this pastor named Dr. Darius Daniels. He presides over a church in Florida, and his sermons are so powerful. Like sometimes I'm like really drawn to like Stephen Furtick from Elevation Church. Sometimes Michael Todd from Transformation Church. But lately, Dr. Darius Daniels has just been like the voice that has been speaking to me. So he kept saying in this promo, he was like, your greatest pleasure and your greatest pain will come from your relationships. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so true. That's so true. So he was teasing up to this book that he wrote called Relational Intelligence. Girlfriend, this is not sponsored. I don't get any cut from this book. But I'm one of those people where if something blesses me and it's amazing, like I want to tell somebody. Like you guys have been really into my life with like the not great choices I've made with love and men. And I feel like this book is like the tool, like one of the tools to help me get back on track. Now listen, I gotta apply this stuff. I gotta apply it. So I went ahead and ordered it hardback, y'all. So here's the book. It's white. Oh, can you see it? Dr. Darius Daniels, Relational Intelligence. Another thing that really like sold me for buying this book. I like reading books. I just don't have the time when I'm in grad school. He said, so Jesus had 12 disciples, right? Only 12. And those disciples were not perfect. They had their own flaws. But we only hear about the 12 disciples in the Bible. There were dozens and dozens of other people that were following Jesus on his journey. But he only talks about the 12, right? Because those were his crew. But even in that crew of 12, right? Jesus goes to the special garden. Again, I need to get up on my Bible. He only takes 3 of the 12, right? So it just even shows that even in his pack, he had some discernment over who got to go in these intimate places with him and who didn't get to go. And I don't know why that spoke to me so much, but it did. So the book, and I'm not going to tell you too much of it because I really don't want to spoil it for you because I really think it's amazing. And I just think it's something everyone could take value from. It is based on the Bible, but honestly, it just makes so much sense. So again, I don't want to tease it for you, but I don't want to spoil it for you. But the idea is that most relationships fall into these 4 things: friends, associates, assignments, and advisors. And the people who are able to really walk into their calling are people that can discern which people go in what section. And friends, I know I do. I give that to everybody. I'm like, yeah, you're my friend. Yeah, you're my friend, which is kind of like a term of endearment. But when you really think about it, friend is a special distinction. Friendships should only be for like the people who get to come to your house, who know your deepest, darkest secrets, and you trust them, and they're people of strong character, and they're going to pour into you. Like those are your friends. Now, people on the peripheral, right? Maybe the people you kick it with and you hang, but you don't really get really deep with. Or maybe they're people who you pour into, but they don't pour into you. Those are associates, right? And knowing the difference is powerful. I'm on the chapter now about assignments, and girl, assignments is like where you've been placed in somebody's life to help them and to mentor and guide them and expect nothing in return. And I know I've been the assignment for quite a few people, particularly when I was homeless. And so it's just a really great book, and it's like really making me think about who are my friends, like the real close crew, and who are associates. And if some people are associates, then should they be getting all of this special access to me? Case in point. I have a guy friend. Have I told this story before? Yes, I think I have. About the guy friend who I went to when I was really depressed and kind of down. And he was like, suck it up, girl. And I was like, wait a minute. I care so deeply for you, right? Because I'm your friend. So every time you've come to me with an emotional need, I have been there. I've been like the friend who answers the phone at midnight and 1:00, and I'm just asking for you to sit with this in me, and you can't do that. Like, so this really making me evaluate, like, is that somebody that I want to that I just want to invest time in? So, girl, just telling you, we pivot, purge, pivot, purge, pivot, purge. Some other things I want to do with this channel, I do want to increase the production value, and I think that there's a way to do that in a way that's not super expensive. I've been researching a lot about YouTube, and so much so I'm trying to turn my little room into a studio. trying. And so I've been moving things around and stuff like that. And so yeah, I want to get a backdrop, like a studio back, like a photography backdrop. Another ring light. This is a homemade ring light, but it works so great. So that'll probably be the last thing I buy. A better microphone. This one's decent for now, but I've seen some really killer ones. And then like a vlogging camera or like a camera, because I shoot this on my Mac. I don't know why I'm telling you guys all of this. But I just think that one of the beauties, I know why I'm telling you this, one of the beauties of following somebody's YouTube journey is that as they grow, you see their environment change, you see their production value increase. Um, it's kind of a cool thing. It's like the new reality TV. Like I'm a consumer of YouTube, and I'm trying to think, who have I followed from like their infancy? I don't know, but I have followed people once they've amassed a large following and then went back to their humble beginnings. And I'm like, dang, that's really cool. I'm also playing with the idea of doing a crowdfunding campaign to sponsor this growth. So how it would work is if like you're a follower and you want to sew into me, whether it's like $1 or $2 or $5, you would make a donation and that money would go to my YouTube fund. And I would use that money to invest in the production value. And so let's say I get enough money to get a new microphone and be like, hey friends, like thank you so much for helping me get this new microphone. Shout out to boom, 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 boom. And yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So if you're interested in that, that'd be super cool. I do have a GoFundMe page right now that I used when I was homeless and actually generated a lot of money from that, which is pretty incredible. So I'll put that one up for now, but in the future, I think I'm going to do that crowdfunding campaign. And then I know a lot of entrepreneurs in the Hampton Roads area, and if the channel grows, I'm going to see if those people would be interested in sponsoring certain episodes. So I would do my content and I would like, hey, this episode is sponsored by such and such and whatever. So, I'm just trying to put my little business hat on. If you own a YouTube channel, just there you go, free consulting. Also, another peak of my week, I'm doing project management, public relations, for a influencer, much larger influencer than me, and I have helped him get his a really good TV interview. I'm so excited about it. They're going to do it virtual, and that's really cool. It's interesting because it's like a part-time job for me now, and I really enjoy doing this in a way that I did not expect. I love seeing people win. I'm a natural encourager, and I love people who have powerful companies, brands, and stories who want to use that to help others. And I really believe in his brand. So I spent a lot of time with hey, what's the story ideas we can connect with people with? How can we get you out there? Because I believe in what he does. So I think part of my pivot will be moving more towards being a media consultant. Being able to say, hey, listen, we're going to put all this effort into getting you into TV. These are the stories. This is how reporting and journalism works. I think it marries very well with my graduate degree right now in strategic communications. So yeah, a lot of change going on, a lot of change. And I'm just pushing forward because, I am still a little bummed about this breakup with this guy because I had a lot of hopes for that situation. And I know it sounds so weird, even though it's gotten ugly, I still feel like there's good in him. Now, listen, we're not getting back together, and I'm not touching that anymore. But it just sucks that it had to happen this way. And I wish that he understood the type of person I am, because if he did, he wouldn't react this way. We totally could have had a conversation, and this is too much information. Sorry, I might edit this part out. But anyways, but yeah, so I'm just pushing forward because personally, this whole situation with the guy that I broke up with, it's been a little hard on my heart, but I have to just keep moving forward. Life has to keep going on, and I just want to move past this. So I'm just throwing myself into going all in for my business. So yeah. Oh my gosh. And also, I want to try to do a viral challenge to meet The Rock. Don't laugh at me. I know, because it sounds crazy, okay? I've loved The Rock since I was 16 years old. And right around my 20s, I was like, listen, I don't care what y'all say. I'm going to meet this man. I'm going to meet him, and it's going to be amazing. Like, I'm going to meet him. Now, listen, I'm not like a fangirl. Like, I'm not trying to, like, he's a married man. But, like, I really respect him as like a role model, as a go-getter. Like he's always goes for what he wants. So I want to try to like make a hashtag go viral. Hashtag Lolo meets The Rock. And what I've learned in grad school, like that's part of how movements go viral. If you keep sharing the same content with like strategic hashtags, at some point people start saying, oh, hey, oh, okay, yeah, I support you. Hashtag Lolo meets The Rock. Maybe that grows and it's shared so much that somebody on his team is like, we're going to Zoom that girl. So you can help me anytime you see any of my content. Just do hashtag Lolo meets The Rock. We're going to do that for the whole month of April, maybe all summer. And also, connect with me on Facebook and Instagram. You can go to the Good Girl Chronicles Facebook page, Good Girl Chronicles LLC. We have over 1,000 members there. And I'm looking to start a private group there where we can have discussions about things we've talked about in the channel and we can really get serious. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Good Girl Chronicles LLC, where I tell my story through pictures. As we say here, Good Girl Chronicles, I love you. I love God more. See you next time.